Keith, is this the last layer that you wear? What happens if you are wearing all of this and you are skiing and everything's good, and then you stop for a break, and when you stop, your body temperature goes down?
When you stop, you get cold, especially at the South Pole. You get quite cold. So we've got my 2 layers right here, the ones that I'm wearing all the time. I have this in my backpack that I'll access if I need to. Again, that's next to my thermos. This layer is right on top of my sled, or right on top of the dog sled in my day pack. This is my insulated parka.
Okay.
So this is an insulated parka. It's actually the Das Parka by Patagonia. It's filled with polyester fill. You can actually, if you're going to go the down route, you want to be looking at something that has 800 fill down, at least 650 or more. 800 would be the highest count of down. This parka slides on over all of these layers, even this layer if I need to. And during a break, during a 5 or 10 minute break, I'll put this on, I'll zip it up, just like this. And again, you see even in the studio here, it takes a while to zip it up. Imagine if your hands are cold, it's minus 20 Celsius out. You're going to want to figure out a good system to easily zip this up. Throw the hood on. Right, got my hands in my pocket, I'm going to stay warm, I'm able to eat my snacks. And this is going to go over all of my layers. So again, we're concerned about fit and circulation and dexterity. You can see I can move with this thing on, I can set up the tent stakes, I can deal with any emergencies that I need to with this layer on, trapping all of my heat.
So if you were buying this layer for just a winter ski trip, you might want to just buy it in a regular size, let's say you're a large. But because you're going to be wearing this over your anorak, you might want to buy a size up from what you might normally wear. Is it important to have a hood on this jacket, on the parka?
Certainly. A lot of the modern day winter ski parkas will have a removable hood. I like one that's actually built in. I'm going to take the jacket off and demonstrate how it's built in right into the jacket right here. There's no seams, there's no snaps, there's no zipper. It's all one piece so that when my back is against the wind, there's no way for the wind to come in. It keeps me nice and warm. It's all one piece. So again, that's the Patagonia Das Parka. I know that North Face makes them, Mountain Hardwear. There's lots of brands that make them. Again, this is a polyester fill. If you're looking at a down fill, you're looking at least 650 minimum. 800 is ideal and what we recommend. This sweater right here is something that I wear inside the tent around camp. This is a light layer. It's very packable. It weighs less than a pound, so it's my emergency layer in case anyone does get cold. Again, this is an extra large layer here. It goes in my backpack in case anyone gets cold or I get cold. It doesn't replace any of this. It's just an extra down sweater that I'll have for tent time. So as you can see, I have 1, 2 big insulated pieces, and then the layers that are against my skin. My windproof layer, which I wear all the time and I would never leave home without. The most important layer I wear is right here, and then extra added warmth.
So Keith, here we have your base layer, we've got a fleece jacket, we've got your wind anorak and your parka. Those 4 things is the major things that you're going to wear on a daily basis. Tell me, how many of these things do I need extras of?
You don't need anything extra. You're going to be rotating, you're going to be wearing these every single day. The best thing for you to do to dry these off at the end of the day is to continue to wear them. Your body heat will actually dry all of these synthetic or wool materials while you're hanging out in the tent cooking dinner. So what I'll actually wind up doing is I'll wear my base layer all the way through dinner. It's going to dry from me sweating during the day. And then at night, if you choose, you can decide to change into an extra layer, this layer that we dropped down here. So I actually sleep in a different layer than what I ski in. So just 2 base layers that touch your skin, and then you don't need anything extra of the wind layers. You've got one that's going to work. Remember, it's got the nice fur ruff on top. I've got 1 fleece jacket, 1 parka, and 1 extra down sweater that's very light and compressible and can pack away into nothing, and I can use it as an emergency kit.
Okay. So we don't need 2 parkas, we don't need 2 fleece jackets, we don't need 2 mid-weight layers. Really all we need 2 of are the base layers so that you can either switch out at night, or if midway through the trip you want to change your base layer, maybe put on something a little cleaner, you have that option. But really we only need 1 of everything else.
I can't say enough about the fit and the dexterity. So obviously these two layers are made by two different companies. I found them both to be very comfortable, but you want to spend the time before the expedition getting used to what's going to be against your skin. So spend the time at home while you're working out, while you're skiing, while you're on the shakedown trip, wearing your potential options so that you can decide well before the expedition that, hey, this layer is the one I'm going to get two of, it's going to go on the expedition with me. This one I'm going to leave at home.
Okay.
It doesn't fit right.
Great. And again, wool, any kind of synthetic material is fine, as is down for your parka or a synthetic material for your parka. Anything else we need to say about the upper layers right now?
No, just one more thing. I wouldn't mind throwing a little caveat for the scarf. It's sort of an in-between layer between my upper layer system and my head system. Right, we're talking about a whole body system when we're describing what we're going to wear at the North Pole. So this scarf is a transition between my layers that are against my body and my head layers. You can see that I can be very versatile with it. I can open it up, it allows me to vent. I can tuck it around, I can create lots of different warmth with it. So it's a transition between what's going on here, me trapping heat, me letting heat go, and what I have on my head. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Great. Finally, last thing I want to say about all of these layers is that no two bodies are alike. Keith is generally a fairly warm person and he sweats pretty easily. I have a tendency to get cold very easily and it takes a lot for me to sweat. So what we wear on an average day is actually a little bit different from one another. He wears one base layer and an anorak, while I'll wear one base layer, sometimes a vest as well if it's really cold out, a very light fleece jacket, and then my anorak. So anywhere between 1 and 3 layers under your anorak, depending on your personal body temperature and how much you have a tendency to sweat. So one system does not work for everyone, and part of the shakedown training and part of the first couple of days on the expedition is learning what works best for you.